Welcome to the room tour of my Santander Ferry. Okay, so there's sort of coffee and tea facilities there, the TV, the remote, the bed if two people were sleeping in this space, the information, welcome stuff, including the internet and all those kind of things. My window and the view of my room, bottled water, some kind of thing that I haven't necessarily eaten before, bedding, bed feels alright, and not too long, not too short, temperature gauge, and the bathroom, which is half decent, it's clean. And soap and water, so should be all fine. Okay, refreshing towels and something in a card. Ah, yeah, and if you feel anything, you've probably got those. But yeah, so that's the room. It looks half decent. The bed feels a bit low, but of course you don't want it that high up if you're actually at sea. And you've got European, UK, USB, and it seems like a telephone connection, but so these are all the card decks. Presuming these cabins, eating, drinking, information, entertainment, so all that stuff. We've got more cabins, tapas restaurant, premium lounge, and so I think so. I'll go down to 7 and have a look at that. And as it's dark, it's mostly just me with shadow on it. But yeah, the Sea Club Lounge, when you go to it with your pass, because it included it in this room, you get this little wristband thing to use. It does have a few choices of meals in there. I had some salmon and rice, which I'll put a picture in, and there's a couple of desserts I had, you know, the little tiny little cube ones, which were half decent. I have got a food pass, so I might get snacks in there and drinks, and then go use my food pass to try out some other food in the different restaurants, because, you know, that's because it'd be useful. Okay, so guessing it's Brittany Ferries connected. It comes up with the boat, free videos on demand. Okay, so you've got Wi-Fi packages of medium, which is 3 hours and 2 devices, or Surf One Way, which is €25, but it's 40 hours, and this journey is 33 and a half. That covers us. I know not everyone would particularly want to use that version, but that's the one I would use because it gives me reasonable stuff. Okay, so yeah, and it's just telling you that it's satellite internet instead of anything like wired or cabled, so it's going to be slower. And then they're blocking background services such as Dropbox and Google Drive and things like that. So you just okay and accept the terms and conditions, and then it asks you for card payment, which I will not show on this, but I will do that now. First time it didn't accept my card, so I had to put it through again, and it was exactly the same details, so yeah, so it's and it's saying that I've activated my one device and that, so yeah. A couple of things I missed. There's power points behind here, so you can charge from your bedside, and there's a hairdryer down there, bin, and there's a commons card thing, but that's all you kind of need. And the indicator of how much it is has a little person holding coffee cups. So yeah. Okay, so video on demand, television. Make sure the buttons are switched on the on position. Help yourself. And then, so things I'm gonna try and get some footage for. The shop. I'm going to try one of the restaurants because, as I say, I have the money for it. Put the money on the card for it, so probably go to the Azul. There's also vending machines if you don't particularly feel like talking to humans. I'm not sure what that is, but I might check that out. Travel lounge, wellness room, exhibition gallery, cinema. Yeah. Looks kind of pretty outside with all the lights. But yeah, so, and this. So I can just pull it down. There you go. That's all closed up for that. And let's just have a quick look. Okay, so is that hot chocolate? I think that might be hot chocolate, but it's difficult to tell. Then we've got decaf coffee, normal coffee, flavoured teas, English tea, and peppermint. Soya milk, which is kind of interesting. I have not seen soya milk being put on these things before, which, you know, is actually helpful for quite a lot of people. And then plain milk. And then you've got little caramel biscuits. So, yeah. Little extra added bits of the room since I came in. Yep, that's the thing. And let's do a TV test. I'm not going to keep it on too long. But... Ooh, that was quick. Okay, so and usual on TV stuff. So okay, so and it does show. Okay, so that's that stuff. So. And it shows you restaurants and menus, and how much the costs of them are, which is quite useful. So you got breakfast from $12.50 at this place. That's counter service, and you get things like main course and dessert. So, or if you presumably want to go fancy, you can do the 3-course dinner. Everything is priced in euros, so that's one thing, but that's not too bad. But that at least gives you an idea of what restaurants you've got and where you need to go to them. And Onboard services, so tells you where all the decks and things are. And one more thing. Travel information. Okay, so you can see where we are in versus the ship. So it's really annoying that that light is right there, but yeah, you can see where that is.
We would like to warmly welcome you on board the Santander. We'll be arriving in Santander on Sunday morning at 7 o'clock British time. The time used on board is on British time. Wish you a very nice crossing. Good evening, el capitán Chenel y la tripulación del Santander les dan la bienvenida a bordo. Nuestra llegada a Santander está prevista domingo por la mañana a las 7 hora británica. La hora que se utiliza a bordo es la hora británica. Les deseamos una agradable travesía.
Access to the garage is restricted during the crossing. In case of emergency, you will hear the alarm signal of 7 short and 1 long blasts. At the same time, a light will be flashing for the attention of hearing impaired people. On the signal, passengers should head to the nearest assembly station and follow the crew's instructions carefully. Life jackets will then be given to you. If a critical situation arises, then the captain will give orders for a series of 4 long blasts on the alarm to be sounded. Passengers will be led to the evacuation points. We would like to advise you to read the safety information posted on boards around the ship. Thank you.
Your attention please. In accordance with the maritime regulation, a demonstration on how to put on your life jacket will be taking place tomorrow morning at the bar and in the other area of the ship at 9:30 UK time. Los salvavidas tendrán lugar mañana por la mañana desde las 9:30 hora británica.
Okay, I think I'm gonna call it a night. Actually have to try and get some sleep and see if I can do with it moving around a bit. I'll try and record as much as I can tomorrow, since make some kind of video out of this, and see you all folks in the morning. Good morning. I haven't had the best night's sleep, but I don't think I ever sleep properly anywhere. I've woken up about 3 times, but could get myself back to sleep again. I haven't felt unwell or anything. We are still in the English Channel at the moment, so we've got a long way to go before we go down. But yeah, I'm going to go and get some breakfast and also see if I can go on any of the sun decks or anything like that, as the weather's actually not, I mean, it's probably cold, but it's not raining at the moment. So we'll see what we can do, what we can film, and what we can explore. So, Ladra there. Drop. So the breakfast in the Sea Club Lounge is pretty decent. Some of it was a little bit cold when it had just been put out, which was a bit unfortunate. But, you know, it was still lukewarm. It was just, you know, it was getting to that stage. So at the moment it looks like you wouldn't necessarily need to ever get a food voucher and to use your meals. As I say, I'm gonna have my lunch in one of the slash dinner in the actual paid things, because I have paid for that voucher, so I don't want to really lose my money. But yeah, it seems alright at the moment. More fancy one, just table service. Probably can't hear me how windy it is, but this is the exercise deck, I think. That's the exercise stuff. I'm not that energetic this time of the morning, so also I've just had breakfast, so that's probably not a good idea. I just thought coming up and showing you what it's like, even if it is ridiculously windy. I think I've shown you most of the stuff I can show you. On the ship. Say room is fine, it rocks about a bit, but apart from that, what do you expect? So you know, it'd be nice if there was an actual table space you could actually put things down on instead of just shelving, but that's just me being picky. But, you know, room does alright. I'm not sure how well it will do with 2 people in here, but it does alright for 1. One thing I don't get about ferries, and it's nothing about the ferries themselves, it's about the people that use them. If you have opening times on things, why do you ignore them and just go in anyway? Because presumably there would be no service if it was not open. But yeah, mostly been resting in my room and sleeping. The shop is alright. I've got a little bit of it outside. It's got toys and duty free and all that kind of thing in it. Something I particularly want. So a lot of this trip might be just me lounging around in my room, which of course is not a good video, so I'm not videoing that. But I put some bits and pieces of what can kind of look like. We've had a few captain weather warnings, you know, be safe in your cabin and walking around. So, you know, sea is not the calmest, but it's not sickness inducing either particularly. I will get my lunch and my dinner in due course. It's just not open yet. But yeah, as I say, room is fine, room is clean, room is got my junk all over it at the moment, but it's doing alright. And you know, and we're moving along, so we're getting close to our location. Still got a long way to go, but you know, we are at least, you know, getting closer to the tip of France, and before we go into this area, so yeah, we've got a long way to go, but it's not too bad. So as I say, one thing is the internet. When you log it, you will have to constantly log into it, even if, you know, you've said I want the 40-hour plan. It will constantly log itself off, and you have to log your device back onto it again. So that's one thing to think about. I mean, it might be just because the satellite goes out, but it does happen quite a lot. And things, as I say, things do take a little bit longer to load. But it's manageable and it will play through things. It's not the cleanest, is it? I mean, maybe everyone just uses the club lounge, but also there's water in it, which you really shouldn't leave water in kettles because you never know where it comes from. Let's try one of these and see what they're like. Because it looks like hot chocolate to me, but I don't know, because it's all in French. Okay, that's like proper like French hot chocolate. But yeah, alright. It's not particularly like hot chocolate in England. It's much more cocoa based, but they're also very sweet. Like really, really, really sweet. But yeah, at least that's given that a go. Okay, I tried to go to the canteen style restaurant to eat, but they seem to be overwhelmed with like 10 guests waiting, so I went back to the lounge. It's not a particularly good thing. I mean, I'm not sure how much less staff they have, but it was literally like 10 people max waiting to get served, which for a canteen style restaurant, it's grab a plate of thing, put on tray. So that wasn't particularly showing a bit of impressive steak, but yeah, I have booked a dinner in the sit down restaurant for 6:45 today, so that is something I can try out. But yeah, as again, food at the moment has been alright. It's nothing to write home about, but it's nothing that's particularly egregious either. If I haven't eaten it, it's just generally because I don't like the thing in the first place. I mean, the lounge, I would say, if I do this again, I would just get this room with the lounge and then just eat food there. Just because it seems a better option than actually having to do the thing. I do think it's interesting that one of the people has decided to set up his space to sleep right next to the club lounge, which I don't have a problem with. I just think that if people are going in and out all the time, it means he doesn't get very much rest. But maybe it's a better place in the ship. The little caramel biscuits are pretty nice. They actually taste properly like caramel. So they're proper old, European style kind of biscuits. In terms of actually, having the flavour of the thing they're supposed to be. As I say, it's we're getting along, getting closer to our location as we go along. Still quite a long way off, but who knows? There's, still got another sleep before. Ooh. So yeah. Yeah, on the little ferry thing, we are right here. So we are travelled a bit since the last time around, and at least we've just got to get down to this bit here, presumably, or down, either that or we go, because I think it's at the top. So at least it shows we're moving, and you can, if you do not have a room, there are boards up on here around the ship that have this information up, so you can check the detail of things. As I say, cabin, I would say very much get, because you get your own space and it's generally reasonably quiet. But this is because I'm travelling in November. It might not always be this quiet in the rest of the time. But yeah, and also things like the club lounge, it doesn't play music, but it does have people watching videos and things. And there was a woman that, it was reasonably quiet, but she was watching something that seemed like people were being murdered in it, because there was women screaming, and not in a we're enjoying ourselves way, in a oh no, I'm going to get killed way. So yeah. And also you can kind of see on this where all the other ships are, because these are names of other ships from what I can remember. I don't necessarily see it miles and miles away, but on the horizon there is land. You can see France around here, so some kind of thing. I mean, hopefully you'll see something on the camera, but there is land out of the window. So we're still quite far away from France, but we are near France. Okay, I just had my dinner at the Azul. I believe that's how it's pronounced. I'll put the name underneath me. Food was good. I thought a rack of pork was going to be something different than what I actually got. All the food was really nice. Tasted fresh. The buffet had some really nice little fish on it and some other things. All seemed to be good quality. They will speak to you in French. Was in the first kind of aspect, and then if they realise you don't speak French, then we'll start speaking English. But just something to say in the first place. But that's pretty much all of the ferry is. They will speak to you in French first before they'll speak to you in anything else, which makes sense for a French ferry company. But just, sort of letting people know. But yeah, I'm still not sure if actually getting a food voucher is worth it if you have the lounge, because the lounge does seem to cover you for quite a lot of things, if that's what you've got. But of course, you do have a bit more freedom of what you're actually eating if you have a food voucher. So there's two sides of it really, if which one's better. I'm trying to remember if I've ever eaten one of these biscuits before. Because even as a brand, I don't really recognise it as a thing. But of course, I don't go to France that often, so I'm probably missing out on their snacks. But yeah, it's been quite a rough sea. I'll do a video of me walking. I have not drunken anything because the people know that I don't really drink. But it's kind of everyone is walking drunk at the moment, of just going from starting on one side to the other side of the wall. So the sea's reasonably rough at the moment, but it's not rough enough seas where things would be in rooms necessarily tacked down. Like on the ferry I went to Shetland, things were actually, kind of held and chained to the floor kind of thing. So where stuff here isn't, as far as I can tell. But of course, it's probably a lot bigger and made ship than I was on before. Or ferry that I was on before. So, but yeah, breakfast starts at 5:45 tomorrow. So probably be up reasonably early. So again, an early night for me, or as much as I ever get them. I'll see how I can sleep again tonight, and I'll probably pack up my bag before so I actually don't have that much to do in the morning. But yeah, so far the trip has been half decent, I think. I mean, you get very much of your own space if you have a cabin, so you can just do your own thing and chill. The amount of video on demand and stuff you get, I'm not sure if there's not that many things you to choose, so bring your own entertainment. I've just been listening to Big Finish most of the time, instead of actually watching the TV, because there isn't that much on really. But yeah, as I say, I will do a proper wrap up tomorrow, and I'll use up my voucher on going to the Azul restaurant and see if I can do that. So, but yeah. Hope you're enjoying the video so far. It takes a while for anything to load on the Wi-Fi. I know you're not actually supposed to use videos, but you think if you're supposed to do something, entertain yourself, you would be able to load. It's also why I've pretty much just been using Big Finish, because this does not load. Well, another night's sleep. Can't see anything out of the window at the moment apart from my reflection, but we are really close now. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. We're supposed to be arriving at 7 English time, 8 o'clock Spanish time, so got a couple of hours left. Breakfast or anything that, I mean, it's technically 5:18 in the morning, so none of the breakfast places open until 5:45, so some time to pack up and get myself ready. There will be probably an announcement of clearing out the room, so I don't know what time that's going to be though. So I'll have to wait for that. Be nice if that was somewhere in the information pack we had, but I'm guessing it changes depending on which route it's doing. But yeah, not sure if the sea's calmed down or not, or if I've just settled a bit into doing it. But yeah. Okay, I had my breakfast. I went down to the Azul restaurant again. So, you know, goes to a canteen style the time of this morning. Got my cooked breakfast. It was very European style, bacon and sausage, ciabatta kind of things, and really runny scrambled egg, which I'm guessing is how they eat it, because we have a bit more firmer. Like the milk has not removed. Also the most best breakfast I had, I left some of it just because I don't particularly like smoked bacon, and you know, the two, you know, things with, you know, the continental breakfast on, one was really far away from the other, and I would think that just seemed a bit weird to have it so far, as no one actually explained where bits and pieces were. But yeah, at least I've got some kind of food in me, and just need to wait for the boat to get, or the ferry to get into port, and then see if we can start another adventure. But yeah, as I say, trying to wrap up, this room has done well. I haven't had any problems particularly with it. The weather has been a little bit up and downs in some ways, but what do you expect with November? But yeah, as I say, everything is kept neat. The lights all worked, everything's worked, and you know, No, I'm just waiting for the call to have to leave the room and go down to one of the decks to get presumably a bus or something down so I can leave. And as I say, work out what to do in Santander.
Getting in Santander in 30 minutes. They will please ask you to vacate your cabin except for passengers traveling with pets. Access to the garage is not authorized for security reasons, and we ask you to wait for further announcement concerning disembarkation in the public areas. We thank you for your patience and your cooperation. Welcome to the garage for disembarkation. We grant you not to move the garage and not to travel inside the Your Excellency, we ask you to grant that access to the outside exit is now forbidden until our arrival in Santander due to the gas supply and storage of gas supply. This is for passengers who are on the outside deck on starboard side and on deck 10. We thank you for your understanding. Adesso por favore ricordamos che l'accesso alla in a few minutes we'll be looking in Santander on behalf of Captain Sunel and all the crew incorporated at the crossing on board the Santander. We thank you for traveling with Brittany Ferries and we look forward to welcoming you on board again soon with better weather conditions. Wish you a very nice and safe journey. Adesso por favore ricordamos
Okay, let's have a chat about the ferry experience. I would say that this is actually quite a relaxing way of doing it and being stuck in a little plane. Of course, it takes 31 hours longer, plus waiting time to get off the ferry. But I would recommend this if you want to give it a go, because you have choices of your own meals, you have quite a lot of choice of your entertainment, and how much exposure you want of people is up to you. A lot of the time I spent in my room, just either listening to Big Finish or just relaxing or sleeping. So I'd say it's a good way of doing this. As I say, it takes out a lot of the worry of the airport, which of course it wasn't particularly busy because I went out on Halloween and arrived now on Sunday. So I'd recommend it. I'll put some more sensory stuff at the end of the video. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'll be doing a lot more content, so like, follow, subscribe, all that kind of ring to the, click the bell, all those kind of things that YouTube likes, and it shows that I'm not a good content creator, but a content creator that actually gets things. So, but yeah, more to come, and now I just need to find some stuff to do, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.